When did you realize you can't judge someone because you don't know what they've been through? I used to think Kian was the worst coworker I'd ever had. Everyone at the office did. The guy showed up late almost every day, always looked like he'd slept in his clothes, and basically vanished the second his shift ended. We called him Casper behind his back because he was like a ghost. There, but not really there. He'd sit at his desk typing away, headphones in, barely making eye contact with anyone. When we had team lunches, he'd eat alone at his desk. When we went out for drinks on Fridays, he never came. Not once. And when things got busy and we needed extra hands, Kian would just keep his head down and ignore everyone. I remember this one time I dropped a whole box of printer paper in the hallway. Papers went everywhere. Kian walked right past me without even looking down. Didn't offer to help, didn't say a word, just stepped over the mess and kept walking. That's when I decided he was just a selfish jerk who didn't care about anyone but himself. So when our manager told me I'd be partnering with him on a 2-week project, I wanted to scream. Of course I got stuck with the office ghost. Of course I'd have to do all the work while he sat there doing the bare minimum. The first few days were exactly what I expected. We'd sit side by side at the conference table, and he'd just type silently while I handled all the actual planning. I'd ask him questions and get one-word answers. Yeah, no, maybe. It was like pulling teeth. I did probably 80% of the work while he just existed next to me. Then on Thursday morning, his chair was empty. No email, no text to our manager, nothing. Just gone. I sat there doing the whole project alone, getting more annoyed by the minute. Our manager came by around 10 and asked where Kian was. I shrugged and said I had no idea. Probably overslept again. By 11, I was fuming. This project was due in a week and I was doing everything myself, so I did something I probably shouldn't have. I opened the company directory and found his emergency contact. It was listed as his grandmother. I called her, planning to leave a message about how unprofessional her grandson was. She picked up on the second ring. Hello? Hi, this is Jesse from Kian's work. He didn't show up today and we're worried. Oh, sweetie, he probably fell asleep at the hospital again. He does that sometimes when he's too exhausted to drive home. I froze. Hospital. Yes, dear. The children's hospital. He's there every night with his nephew. Has been for 8 months now. My stomach dropped. I didn't know he had a nephew. Oh yes, little Connor. Just turned 5 last month. Kian's been raising him alone since the accident. Such a sweet boy, but he's very sick. Advanced leukemia. They're trying a new treatment, but it's been rough. I couldn't speak. I just sat there holding the phone. Kian's parents, Connor's grandparents, they died in a car crash about a year ago, she continued. Same accident that orphaned Connor. Kian was the only family left, so he took the boy in. Works all day, then goes straight to the hospital until 2 or 3 in the morning. Most nights he just sleeps in the chair next to Connor's bed. I had no idea, I whispered. He doesn't like to talk about it, doesn't want people feeling sorry for him. He's a good boy, my grandson, just doing the best he can with an impossible situation. When I hung up, I just sat there staring at Kian's empty chair. All those late arrivals, he was probably up all night with a sick kid. The wrinkled clothes, he was sleeping in them at a hospital. The disappearing act after work, he was rushing to be with his nephew. That day, he walked past me in the hallway. He probably had just gotten terrible news from a doctor. I felt sick. Kian came in the next day around 10. His eyes had dark circles under them, and his shirt was buttoned wrong. He sat down without saying anything, and opened his laptop. I slid a sandwich across the table. Didn't know if you had breakfast? He looked at it, then at me, confused. Thanks. You take the lead on the design part, I said. I'll handle all the data entry and formatting. Sound good? He nodded slowly, still watching me like I was going to yell at him. I didn't tell him I knew. I didn't ask questions or make him explain himself. I just quietly took on more of the workload and stopped judging every little thing he did. When he showed up late, I covered for him. When he looked exhausted, I brought him coffee. When he had to leave early one day, I told our manager I insisted he go, that I had everything under control. We finished the project on time. Kian actually smiled when we presented it, a real smile. I'd never seen him smile before. On the last day, he stopped me in the hallway. Thank you, he said quietly, for not making this harder than it already is. I just nodded. What else could I say?